One second. So we were on Pandas the last day and we completed few basics, simple things. So we'll be working with more. Just open out. Yeah. So till last time we completed what is a series, what is a data frame, how to read a CSV file, how to read a JSON file. We did lock. We did how to return multiple rows using comma. So the major thing that we had to do is done. Okay. So let's work with analysis of data. So I'll request you all to quickly open your Google Colab. I'll also keep my ready. Yeah. Now we will again read some data. So I'll read some CSV file. If you want, you can also upload a CSV file and do that, but I'm using sample data. If you want to upload one, use this button and upload it. It will come here. Okay. So yeah. So let's do the import. Import pandas as PD. df is equals to pd dot read csv, and here's the path. Let's print out df. Okay. So now once we have done this, we have some methods that we can use with pandas. The first method that we can use is called head. So in case you want to only see top 5 rows, you can use the head method. In the head method, you will just write dot head and just write like this. तो सिर्फ ऊपर की जो पहली 5 rows है, you will get that. In case you want to personalize the number, you want to customize it, you can write the number like this. मुझे ऊपर की 3 rows चाहिए. So you can write like this and you will get 3 rows. So that is up to you how many rows you want. By default, it will always show you the 5 rows. But if you specify a number there, then accordingly it will work. If you want to see the last 5 rows, then you can use something called as tail. And you can also write a number here कि मुझे last की 3 rows चाहिए. तो give me that. So head and tail are the opposite. Head gives you the top 5 rows. Tail gives you the last 5 rows. You can specify a number in the bracket too, and accordingly it will give you that number of rows. आपकी मर्जी है आप उसको कैसे देखना चाहते हो. It will work in that way. तो एक बार head and tail try करेंगे, import करेंगे CSV file. If you want to upload it from your system, do that also, up to you. कोड चैट में पेस्ट करेंगे and once you are done we'll proceed further. Please paste the code once we're done. Okay, let's proceed further. Yeah. Then we have done head and tail. Now let's quickly do info. Let's see what does info do. If we just write the name of the data frame dot info, if we write like this, so it will give you information regarding the columns that we have. So these are the columns, right? And it is showing how many non-null values we have. So it's saying that we have 3000 non-null value in all of these, and also the data type of these columns. So the data type of these columns is float. Every value is in float. So it's telling you that. So if you want some info about the data, कौन से columns हैं, what is the type of the column, how many non-null values are there, then you can use info. Okay, let's try this out as well. Okay, let's proceed further. Now, once we're done with info also, we are going to work with the cleaning of data, how the data is cleaned. So let's go here. So data cleaning can be for anything, like suppose you have some null values. Okay, so, suppose you have some duplicate values, data that is in wrong format. So if you want to clean that data, you will call that we are doing data cleaning. Okay, so let's work with empty cells. Okay, once you have empty cells, right? Let me just give you the data also once. एक मिनट, thing data being है. Mm, yeah, इधर मैं ये वाला लिंक दे रही हूँ। इधर क्लिक करेंगे डाउनलोड डेटा डॉट सी एस वी पे, तो यू विल गेट द डेटा डाउनलोडेड। आई एम जस्ट गिविंग यू द लिंक क्विकली। Load the CSV file in your data frame and give me a yes once you are done. मैंने आपको लिंक भेजी है, उधर डाउनलोड का ऑप्शन है। Just click on that and download that CSV file. Once you are done, let me know. बताएंगे लोड करके once you are done. जिसका हो गया है वो डॉट इन्फो करके देखेंगे हाउ मेनी नल वैल्यूज आर देयर एंड टेल मी. Great. Guys, anyone else is doing it? Ambesh, Biswajit. If you're not, then please leave the class. Like, I'm not getting your answers. Let me know in the chat, right? I've been asking you once, like again and again, are you doing it? Are you doing it? Let's proceed further. It's quite easy. You just have to write the same way, like I'm calling it df2, and I'll write pd dot read csv. In the bracket, write the path. So for the path, again I have to upload the file. I'll go in downloads. This is my data. I'll do okay. So this is has been uploaded. I'll copy the path, paste it here, print out df2. This is the data. Then I'll see the info. We have 169 non-null values in both of them. That means ki duration is 169. For pulse also we have 169. Max pulse also 169. For calories we have some null values. We can see 164 values are there. So that means 5 is null. So for filling out the gap for null values, we use drop NA. Let's start with it. So we just specify that the df, the new df that we have will be df dot drop NA. ठीक है? So एक बार try करते हैं. I'll just, you can write anything. New df is equals to df2 dot drop NA. तो हमारे पास एक new df करके एक data frame है. Let's do new df dot info. Now if we do this, we see कि out of 169, right? पहले 169 थे. Now only 164 are there. So what happened was जहाँ जहाँ null values थी, that is deleted. Now we only have 164 rows. That means wherever the value of calories was null, that entire row is deleted. So drop NA deletes the entire row. Okay. So one way to deal with empty cells is to remove the rows that you have that contain the empty cell. That is usually okay, since datasets, like if you're working with datasets, they'll generally have thousands of rows. So if you remove 5-10 rows, it does not really impact the result. So it's fine. Okay. So you can make a, like you can use drop NA to remove the null values wali row, and you will get those rows deleted. Okay. Then you also have the option of replacing the value. For example, wherever you have some value that you need to replace, they can also replace it. So for replacing, you will use fill NA. Drop NA was used for dropping. In case you want to fill something, you can use fill NA. So fill NA, how is it used? Fill NA will fill the value that you are providing जहाँ पे भी null value है वहाँ पे. For example, let me just, I have to import the data again, या फिर हम df में कर सकते हैं. df2 dot info, if we see right now, it will be same because we made the changes in a new data frame here. So if I want to do df2 dot fill NA, so here I will specify which value I want to fill in the place of null value. So if you see, we have null values in calories. So let's fill out some null value there, some other value there. So these are the values. So you can fill out any value. That is up to you. So let's fill out 250. Okay? And then we specify in place is equals to true. Matlab, what does this do? In place is equals to true will do nothing, but instead, like what we were doing here was we were making a new data frame and all the values were like given here. But in place is equals to true will make sure that that whatever changes that you are doing, is applied to the df2 only. You do not have to make a new data frame for storing the changes. So in place is equals to true will make sure that the changes that you are doing are happening in df2 only and are reflected there. So let's do this. Done. Now we will see df2 dot info. So now you can see instead of calories being 164 not null, we have 169 non null. That means something has been added here. Okay, so let's do both drop in and fill in.
Muskan, can you please explain me once again about in place?
In place means that you are doing that in the same data frame that you have written it up. You do not have to create another data frame.
Okay.
Okay, proceeding further. Now we have done fill in and everything. Now in case your right now we have data that has null values in calories only, but uh, what may happen in future is sometimes you may have data that may have null values in other columns as well, right? So you have to somehow be explicitly specifying in which column you want to replace what thing. So for example, here we just wrote that fill any like this. But in future, if you have multiple columns that have some null values, you will write the name of the columns like this. Then the same thing will repeat. This thing is totally same. Only the name of the column should be written in case you have multiple columns with null values and you want to replace the values differently. For example, time, maybe you may have null values. So for example, in time, you may want to write instead of null 40. So if you do not specify df in brackets time dot fill any like this, and you write only like this, then in place of time also 130 will be filled. Okay, to replace empty or null values for a specific column, you need to specify the column like this. Okay, and then do it. For our case, we do not need it because we only have null values in calories, and we have already filled it with 130. But in case it happens in future, you can write the name of the column like that. Okay. Now we will quickly do mean, median, and mode. Okay. So if in case, right, you want to calculate the mean of something, ठीक है, तो आप mean भी calculate कर सकते हो. Generally, when you are trying to replace some value, you try to replace it with average value. Suppose you have some data with the age of the employees. You have null value in two or three rows. So what you generally try to do is you try to find out कि अच्छा average age कितनी है, वो ही होगी, उसके chances to be there will be more. So in our case, we will also try this. We are just writing df2 calories, ठीक है, calories dot mean. Let's find out ये कितना है. So this is the mean that we have 372.06. So if you want to replace it here, I will just copy this. I'm writing it like this. आप वैसे भी लिख सकते हो, that is up to you. So I will just say I'm storing this in x. Just say x is equal to this. So I will say fill the empty values with x, with the value that is there in x. So now instead of filling it with 250, we are filling it with the mean that we have for the calories column. So that is stored in x and we have written x here. Okay, you can also do that, that is up to you. Then if you want to calculate median or mode, the formula remains is like the syntax remains the same. You can write like this. Then you write median. This is the median. If you want to write out the mode, this is the formula for mode, and so on. ठीक है. So you will have the mean, median, mode. आप ऐसे calculate कर सकते हो. Generally, when you're trying to fill up the null values, you try to fill up with the mean value. So that is why I've stored the mean value in x, and then I have written instead of 250 here, I've written x here. So x is I think 300 something आ रहा था, 372. So all the null values in the calories column will be filled with 372.06. Okay. So this is how you do mean, median, and mode. That is totally up to you. Let's quickly do this mean wala thing at least, so that we are replacing the null values with the mean values in Pandas. Done. Okay. Now we are going to work with the wrong format. कई बार ऐसा होता है कि data comes in wrong format. So if you want to change the format, for example हम date time का format change करेंगे. So how will you change that format? We will understand that first. So changing the format is easy. Okay. So changing the format करने के लिए, for example, for the date time, you use two date time function. ठीक है? So there is this two date time, and it will convert all the cells that you have in the date column into the date time format. So it's quite easy. अगर आप चाहो, I'm sending you this also. You can specify like this: df date. That means, yeah, let's do it. Yeah, df date मतलब the date column should be in date time format. Okay, and then you write the name of the column again. Let me show you the date time format as well. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. So like date time format में क्या होता है? You have the date specified like this. ठीक है? You have the year, then the month, then the date and the time also in case if you have it. If it's not there, then it will not be there. So if you write something like this, dot date time, and if you write like this 2025/17, so it will think that it is saying 2020 is the year, 5 is the month, and 17 is the date. Okay, so here also you are saying कि जो df date column है इसको इस format में कर दो कि you get सेकंड here date दिखा रहा, अच्छा इधर date नहीं है, इधर duration इस वाले उसमें नहीं है date. 1 second, कौन सा डेटा यूज कर रहे हैं हम इधर? ओके, तो हमारे डेटा में डेट नहीं है, हमारे डेटा में है ड्यूरेशन, पल्स, मैक्स पल्स और कैलोरीज. वी डू नॉट हैव डेट हियर. इन केस वी हैड, लेट मी सी, नहीं इधर भी नहीं है. इन केस वी हैड इट, देन वी विल गेट नो इशू. You will like not have date right now, so you'll get issue, but it's fine. But let me show you how it's practically done. So if you see here, there's this data like this here: 2020, 12, 26. So once you do date time, it will be converted like this: 2020 मतलब ये ईयर है, 12 इज द मंथ एंड 26 इज द डेट. ठीक है, एंड जो NaN है मतलब नॉट, यहाँ पे कोई वैल्यू नहीं है. NaN का मतलब किसी को पता है क्या होता है? यू कैन यूज गूगल ऑल्सो.
Not a number.
यहाँ पे NaN अगर आप करोगे, दैट्स नॉट अ नंबर. एंड यहाँ पे वो कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा NAT में. व्हाट इज NAT? NAT मतलब नॉट अ टाइम. तो उसका मतलब वो कह रहा है कि इट्स नॉट अ टाइम, so it cannot be converted. Anything that is there in the format of year, month, and date, it will be converted. But anything that is not a number, any absurd value, that may not be converted, and you will get NAT there. That shows that it is not a time. Okay, quite easy. Okay, let's move forward. Now, if you see here in the duration, you have 450 written here. Let's see also यहाँ पर भी है क्या? df2 dot head 10. या तो यहाँ पे तो नहीं है, but we will see how to work with this. कई बार ऐसा हो सकता है कि in the data that you have the value a little written in wrong format. You wanted to write 45, but गलती से आपने 0 extra you pressed and it came out to be 450. ठीक है, so how to replace that? You can replace that value. You can specify कहाँ पे आपको replace करना है, कैसे. So in our case, let's replace it. Let's see, 10 बनेगा 20. हम ये वाली रिप्लेस करके देखते हैं. ठीक है, we can replace by specifying the log. df2 dot log कैसे करते थे, किसको याद है? we used to specify log में index, right? हम index लिखेंगे. index, यहाँ पे index था 7, हम index जो यूज करें that is 8. so you will write the index here. आप अपना हिसाब से भी यूज कर सकते हो. I'm using ये वाली value, तो I'm writing 8 and I want to change the value in which column? Duration column. That is how what I'm writing. Okay, then whatever new value I want, for example I want it to be 45, I will be writing like this. ठीक है, उसके बाद if I print df2 dot head 10, you will see for the 8th also it's 45 now. So you can replace the value by specifying कौन सा आपका value है at what index and what is the name of the column, and then you specify the new value like this. So it's quite easy to do that. Okay, now generally when you are working with a small data set, you can manually see कि अच्छा ये गलत है वो गलत है, and you can check that out. But if you are not able to uh, like understand in a bigger data set कि कहाँ change करना है and कहाँ नहीं, you generally have a condition that you write. For example, if we see here, we have written for x in df dot index. We are saying x जो है वो एक value है जो index में जाएगी, and it will roam through all the indexes and it will see if the value of duration is greater than 120, it will make the duration as 120. Do we understand this piece of code? For x in df dot index, if df dot log x duration, मतलब x की values will change. First x will be 0. 0 duration is 60. 1 duration is 60. 2 duration is 60. 3 duration is 45, and so on. It will basically check if the value of duration in any index is greater than 120, then you will make the value of that duration is equals to 120. Do we understand this code? Yes or no in chat? Okay. So in place, you have a lot of things happening here. You can use a loop to get the values. And if you have a short one, you can automatically change the values like this also. So it's up to you how you want to do it. Okay. So here, if we are getting the value greater than 120, we are replacing it with 120. Here, if we are getting value greater than 120, then can anyone tell me what we are doing? What we are doing if we are getting the value greater than 120?
I think it will take the loop value itself.
Here it is, we are using drop, right? We are using df dot, so that means that we are removing it. Drop का मतलब है we are removing that row. Okay, आप remove भी कर सकते हो, आप fill भी कर सकते हो. Particularly आपके ऊपर है कि आपको क्या करना है. Here this line of code is same. यहाँ तक this is totally same. Here you are saying कि value अगर 120 से ऊपर we have, give the value as 120 instead of making it 120 से ऊपर. Here you are saying कि if it's greater than 120, then drop that particular row entirely. So that's up to you how you want to work with. Let's see हमारे डेटा में 120 से ऊपर है क्या duration. I think नहीं होगी. df2 dot head 30. we do not have. If you want, you can 30 भी नहीं है, 60 and 45 ही है. df2 dot get 50. But in case, let's just give it a try. We will try this similar thing, but with duration greater duration अगर 45 है तो we will do that. ठीक है. So we are saying if df dot log x duration is equals to 45, we are saying कि अगर duration 45 है then make it 60. ठीक है. अब यहाँ पे एक छोटी सी चीज जो है ना, लेट्स सी कि क्या होगा क्या नहीं होगा. छोटी सी चीज वी हैव चेंज्ड ओनली. सो सी हियर. ठीक है. इट्स सेइंग कि यू आर डूइंग सिंगल इज इक्वल्स टू, दैट इज रॉन्ग बिकॉज once you want to compare, like you want to see if like this value is equal to that value, if x and y are equal, you use double is equals to sign, remember that. Single is equals to sign is used for assignment. For example, like we did here, this is single is equals to sign. We are saying x में क्या value है, x में जो value है, that is the mean. But if you want to check if two values are equal, you use double is equals to sign, right? This is assignment, and this is checking if they are equal or not. So we do that. Now it's saying key we do not have something called as duration. 1 second. अच्छा, हमारा df का जो नाम है that is different. Our df is df2. Remember that. For x df2 dot index. Yeah. So it worked. Let's print out df2 dot head 10. तो जहां जहां भी 45 था वहां सब जगह you will get 60 now. Okay. So you can replace the values like this. Let's do this जल्दी.
Hi, Muskan. I have one question here.
Yeah.
So we are not putting the inverted comma quotation marks for x here. Is it because the value of x is a numeric value in this?
X is a variable, right? Variable में हम नहीं डालते हैं. It's not a string. X की
Oh,
value is changing. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4.
okay, okay, understand.
I'm giving you one thing that we call as duplicate कैसे remove करते हैं as homework. इसमें सिर्फ 2 steps हैं. If you want you can read also, very easy. Duplicate कैसे remove करते हैं, सिर्फ 2 steps हैं, बहुत easy है. I'll still tell you. If you want to remove duplicates, you just use drop underscore duplicates. जैसे हमने drop na यूज किया था, वैसे ही drop duplicates यूज करेंगे. Similar, बिल्कुल similar. In place is equals to true we will use to delete all the duplicate values that we have. Okay, and you will also learn about df.duplicated method. Only 2 methods are there to do. Please learn about it. Please read it. बहुत आसान blog है. Ask anything if you have. Also, I am giving you the link of the exercise that you will have for pandas. अब you will start with the series. अब series करोगे, then you will do the data frame here in the pandas only. Series, data frame and cleaning that you will do. Series में है you have 3 questions, data frame में 9 and cleaning में 4. 3 plus 4 7 plus 9 16 questions should be there that you have to do. Okay, that is the only thing that you have to do. Bas 16 questions, simple quiz and 1 link. Remember that this is your homework. And अगर आपको लिंक नहीं मिलती है, remember the link is on W3 schools. Pandas cleaning में duplicates वाली लिंक है and exercise की लिंक भी वहीं पर ही. Okay, so I'll see you all tomorrow and we'll be starting with Matplotlib. Bye bye. If you have any doubt, feel free to drop it in the group. जब भी you are doing questions, you are trying something, it's totally fine. Feel free to drop it in the group. Bye bye. All the best, guys.